Hello again, everyone. I am King Cullah, and welcome to Perfectly Unscientific Gaming. This week we are on one of the team's favorite maps, which is Lijiang Tower, and the team falls behind, but is able to turn it around very quickly. So the crew this week consists of Earth, ProLazy, Shane, and Trekkie. So as we get underway, the video starts very quickly on us here, so we're getting right into it. It looks like the team has a couple of tanks, a couple of DPS, defense support in Mei, as well as a couple of healers. So they're going to try and hold down this point fairly quickly here or there, and both teams trying to contest pretty early here. As it starts off, the enemy D.Va is demeched, which stops them from doing too much damage on the point there. Mercy is keeping D.Va alive there, but is being forced back by Earth's Zarya. And the Roadhog tries to come in, soak up some damage. A little bit of picks back and forth here. The D.Va uses an ult, a very quick ult, and is able to take down just one Junkrat there, but a few picks here and there from the other team members, and the enemy team is being forced back a bit, but only just now being able to cap the point, so they'll have to try and defend it now. So something interesting about this first point on Lijiang Tower, there's lots of area on the left side of the map to try and flank around, as well as stairs going up top for a lot of flying units like D.Va or Pharah to make note of, but also players with ults like High Noon, the Deadeye ult from McCree. They're able to go up there and shoot down everyone from below without them noticing. So in that engagement there, we had a few deaths, and the team is getting pushed back a little bit there. They're able to hold the ground fairly quickly there, but a few mistakes there means that the Zarya goes down from fire on the side. So now the enemy team is trying to take back the point. There's only a couple that are still on it, and a couple ults have been going off. So it looks like the enemy team is going to take this one here after taking down the Mei, which is very, very, very good at being able to hold a point, but not able to do that forever, of course, under concentrated fire. So as we get back in here, the team is trying to regroup. Zarya does a bit of flanking on her own. Zarya, of course, not really known for doing much flanking, but able to push them back a little bit, but still trying to wait for the rest of the team to do some significant damage. They're all fairly grouped up here, but the enemy healers are doing a very good job of trying to heal them back together. So a pick there on the Ana, and the enemy team is starting to fall a bit, but the friendly healers are also down, so it really comes down to who's able to preserve their life. And the Mercy is able to come back in and do a res, especially on the Junkrat and the Roadhog, which allows for a fair number of damage to come back and even the fight. Mercy is trying to stay just out of range there, but is able to fly away a little bit there and stay alive to get to the health pack. One thing that you want to do as a team that's facing an enemy Mercy is you always want to make sure you kill the Mercy first, because if you don't, you'll be killing them 5 times, then you'll have to kill them 5 times more after the res. It's much easier to just do it all at once. So the team is still trying to contest the point there, but the enemy team is trying to take it back over. It's a fairly even map so far, both teams at around 70%. The team has to regroup here before they can take back the points again. Zarya here is flying in, has a little bit of backup behind them there with damage. The Ana is doing once again a very good job of healing the enemy team there. And a bit of a mistake there as he misses out on the D.Va ult, but sometimes you just gotta check around you just to make sure that you're not gonna get blown up by that thing. It's got a very, very powerful damage at short range for sure, unless you're hiding behind something. So in the overtime here, it looks like he's made the switch to Roadhog to try and get some more lasting power on the point here. We'll see him try and take out the enemy healers. Misses the hook, unfortunately, on the Mercy, and the Mercy is able to get the res there, and the enemy Roadhog is able to get the ult off, which is very devastating at close range as well. There's a few picks here and there. The friendly D.Va and the Soldier go down, and it looks like this might be it for the team for the first point. Very valiant effort. They did very well at trying to get as much as they could there. But I think probably a few things that they probably could have done better in that particular scenario. But you always got to try and remember that it's just one map, and with competitive, it is a best of 3 in these scenarios. Or a best of 5 rather. So you have to make sure you get 3 wins, and just losing one map doesn't mean you can give up. So you can always come back and win it. So it looks like our viewpoint here is switched to Sombra, which is fairly good on this map. There's a lot of flanking that you can do to get behind enemy lines and to try and get things going. Sombra does notice that a few flanking maneuvers there from the Mercy, as well as the it looks like the Soldier, who are coming in to try and stop the team from getting to the point. Unfortunately, it seems like it's fairly effective, as the team was stuck behind there battling while the enemy team was able to get to the point and cap it. It's much easier to cap it when there's no one there, that's for sure. So it looks like Sombra's doing a fairly good amount of damage on the D.Va, but not quite unable to get the D.Va to demech, and is taken out by that Roadhog hook, who even after all this time, still a very powerful ability to have. So they're going to have to do a bit more regrouping here. There's still 3 of them on the point, so people who are dead need to come back. Sombra uses the translocator to get through that hill very quickly, but once again taken out by the Roadhog ult at closer range, jumping into no man's land there for sure. The team is able to take back the point though after taking out the Roadhog and a few others at the point, so they are able to do that. Ults are going to be coming up here fairly soon for the Sombra. We'll see when she decides to use the hacking ability there. The May ult almost stopped Sombra from getting away, taken down at the last moment there, but then the Junkrat ult comes back in. So the other team, they seem to be split up into 2 groups of 3 at this point, and for most of the map, which has allowed the enemy team to try and get up to 60% capped. So now they are a bit more grouped up. The hacking goes off, and able to take out the Soldier and a few others who are on their own. The enemy team has fallen back to the point at this point, and Sombra once again trying to get over and try and get around them a bit. Hacking those health packs to provide a lot of extra health, and if a friendly uses one of those hacked health packs, it provides quite a bit of an ult charge. So crunch time is coming up here, 90%. It's time to get onto the point. Sombra goes in. Ana is the only one there and is taken down very quickly, but the tanks are able to come back and stop them from doing too much damage. Junkrat comes in with a damage boost, which is a lot of damage all at once, and the Sombra eats it right in the face. And it looks like there's not quite enough time for the Lucio to get back to the point, as well as the Pharah. So it looks like they've lost map 2 much less closely than the first one was. I think the real problem there was that they weren't able to group up effectively, and that they kept dying one by one. One thing when you want to go into the point is you always want to be able to group up effectively so that you can deal all the damage all at once rather than staggering it. So we'll see if they're going to be able to do this on the Garden map, which provides that center point in the middle, but there's certainly different flanking routes on either side where a lot of air units, such as Pharah, can do a lot of damage by putting people off the bridge. So we'll see if Trekkie's Pharah is able to do that. Another switch off to a Soldier here to get some more damage. Looks like the team is very defense heavy, as it seems, with the Mei. So we'll see if the Soldier is able to do a lot more damage. But unfortunately, getting hooked by Roadhog, it does really doesn't help. So getting control on the point requires you to stay alive. So looks like we have another switch over to Zenyatta, which will provide a bit more healing. I think at this point they're trying to switch to whatever works. But with 6 people on the point and Zenyatta on his own, he's not going to be able to do too much there. They're going to have to wait, regroup, and go in all at once. Try and catch any stragglers that are coming in off guard, like this soldier here, who overextended a bit too far, I believe. One thing about Soldier is that he does a lot of damage, but he doesn't have that much health. So if he has already used his health kit, he's actually quite easy for a player like a Zenyatta to take out. The Junkrat also gets taken out, as will Mercy. So even though Ana's ult is going off, Roadhog misses the hook, but Soldier is behind Zenyatta. Again, coming back from spawn, so taking out the Zenyatta there fairly quickly. We see the Mei doing level best to try and hold on to the point there, as Meis will do. And D.Va is also trying to fly in. Looks like the Reinhardt is doing a lot of damage just by blocking the damage, as well as swinging the hammer around on the point as well. Zenyatta just barely didn't get behind the Reinhardt shield there for the D.Va ult. One thing about Zenyatta is unless he's using his ult, he's not very fast, that's for sure. It looks like a Mercy res of just 1 on the D.Va there, but D.Va is able to do quite a bit there of damage, as she has been one of the probably one of the better players on the enemy team doing damage. Zenyatta pops the ult to try and stop any more team members from dying, and the Mei ult stops the Soldier and the Mercy, as well as the Junkrat. Now the Zenyatta is able to take out the Roadhog fairly quickly there, as well as the Ana, which helps a great deal in holding on to the point. They're at about 65% or so, so they only need about 30 to 40 more seconds of sustained pressure here. And they're all grouped up on the points there, so this would be a good time for Fair to use that boot. But looks like it was just on cooldown there. D.Va gets taken out pretty quickly through the funnel there. But it looks like someone has sneakily gone back onto the other side of the point. And Roadhog is really devastating with those hooks, that's for sure. That's probably about 5 or 6 that Earth here has been taken out by them over the different matches. It just goes to show that Roadhog is a very useful player. If you can land those hooks properly, it can do lots of damage, especially on the squishier players. But it looks like they're able to hold the point there and take it back fairly quickly there and stop the enemy team from really getting anywhere near the point. So that was, I think, the major difference there, is that they were able to group up and stay grouped up effectively and not get picked off one by one. The healers were able to stay alive a lot better there, and the team worked a lot better as a group. So they'll just have to continue on with this into the next map here, as we're going back. Getting ready for it to start here. I think we'll see a bit of a different outlook here with the healers doing a lot more damage than they were before, especially with the Zenyatta Discord orbs, which are able to target and take out squishy players pretty quickly. So one key difference here is that they've gone straight in and they've all stayed on the same line so that they don't get picked off one by one. Junkrat is taken out pretty quickly there, and the D.Va is trying to get behind the lines to kill off the healers, but is pushed back pretty quickly as well. However, the Zenyatta kind of gets stuck on the wall there and not able to go in, and looks like the Mercy is also taken out. And with both healers down, they are still able to manage to cap the point there. So they'll have to try and hold on to it for a little bit longer while the enemy team comes back. The healers are coming back right now, but the tanks up there are starting to fade with the Reinhardt and the D.Va falling. So it is now the Mei and the 2 healers that are trying to defend the point. Enemy team is able to cap it there. A very long-range Roadhog shot is able to get through there. The tanks on the enemy team are doing a very good job of keeping themselves alive, that's for sure. It looks like the Perfectly Unscientific crew is having a bit more trouble trying to stay grouped again. It looks like there's a few that are getting behind enemy lines, like the soldier, that are trying to do damage and split them up. We get a Junkrat tower coming in, and that's basically a wall of death right there with the D.Va and the Junkrat tower coming in. Not many Zenyatas would be able to survive that, even if they are made out of metal. So, once again, they're going to have to try and group up. They did waste 2 ults there on the same person, so that is something that's good for the team. Soldier is trying to do more flanking, but isn't able to do too much there. Zenyatta is able to get away and get back to the point fairly quickly. In that scenario, you'd probably want someone more like a Tracer, who are able to get back to the fight a lot more quickly than even a Soldier. Reinhardt is doing some very good charges, trying to push them off the point. D.Va is also doing pretty good. Zenyatta pops the ult just to try and keep the people alive there, doing a very good amount of healing there, and being able to take back the point just by the virtue of staying alive and being able to kill the others. So it looks like there's a moment of silence here for the fallen comrades as we wait for the enemy team to try and regroup and push back in. Little bit of friendly shooting there on the Pharah. And we will see that the enemy team is trying to group up through the main corridor there. Another D.Va ult goes off, and this time it doesn't kill the Zenyatta, but another Junkrat ult coming in as well. Just goes to show those are going off fairly frequently, which means those are the ones to take out. D.Va is still causing havoc back there, able to stay alive for so long. But the enemy team is being pushed back fairly well by our Perfectly Unscientific crew here. And there's not too much going on up on the flanking of the enemy team. They seem to be mostly going through the main corridors here. And I think that's probably something that they're not doing as well as they probably were before. And the Perfectly Unscientific crew is able to take care of them a lot easier because of that. They're all staying in a certain line there. Getting knocked down by the Reinhardt Earth Shatter, but the Mercy coming in for a couple reses. Mercy able to fly away once again. And a lot of chaos is going on everywhere, so Zenyatta pops the ult once more. Very good time on that. Another D.Va ult and able to get behind the barrier as well and stop that from going in. Going up against a soldier at close range is not always a good thing to do, especially when he puts his healing down. But able to take him back out by another. The Reinhardt is doing a lot of work keeping them off the point, and they're able to tie it up 2-2. So now it's anyone's game on the last point. So they're doing very well at coming back and making sure that the enemy team isn't able to get back onto the point. See in chat there, it says your Reinhardt went full ham, doing very well keeping those players off the point right at the end there. And we'll see Shane replying with, "Iti sia yelishne him. That is why we like him." And Earth, of course, says, "Bless you." As anyone who says that must be sneezing. So as we get going on here, it looks like the team's staying with generally the same composition. It looks like there's no major changes. They're going with what works, and they're going to win this last one. So Mercy is getting a bit overextended there of the not able to stay with the group, and it's taken out very quickly. You always want to take out the Mercy first. Lucio is also in on his own, but it looks like the rest of the team has come in behind them. The enemy team switching to a Winston to try and take out the squishier players, which is also very good against players like Pharah or the healers. So I think it looks like they're going to need to group up again after the Pharah and some of the healers going down. Winston is trying to come back in to do bits of damage and then fly off away back to his home in the jungle. Speaking of jungle, it looks like Lucio is coming back in for a bit more. Being from Brazil, I'm sure he has a lot to do with the jungle, of course. So Winston and Lucio providing a very good 1-2 punch there. Looks like Trekkie, as the Pharah is able to take out a few on the point just from shooting through the back door there, and able to take out quite a few there. Zenyatta gets cartwheeled away, but fortunately the Mercy is able to res him fairly quickly there and stops the Junkrat as well as the Lucio from getting too far. That was a very well-timed Mei ult, of course, and stopped the Winston right in his tracks. And the Bastion back there is trying to get through and eventually is able to take down the Pharah as well as the D.Va. So they're going to have to try and make sure that they prioritize the Bastion for when they go back in. So it looks like they're trickling in one by one, which is something you don't want to do. Don't do that, guys. You know that. You know better than that. So they're going to group up here, and looks like at 72% here. They're on the back heel this now. They really need to group up and be able to get back in, but they're being pushed back at their own spawn doors here. At 80%, they need to get going here. And it looks like they take out the D.Va mech, which is good. Not quite able to get the Junkrat. That would have been a very helpful pick to do there. The Pharah takes the ult off and is able to get the Junkrat as well as the Bastion, but the Mercy res brings them all back, unfortunately. Reinhardt trying hard to stay alive there. Another D.Va ult, and the Winston catches the Zenyatta off guard. The Reinhardt is still staying alive here, but is trying to. The enemy team is taking him down fairly quickly there. Shane, as Mercy, is staying on that Reinhardt, keeping them alive enough to be able to get a res in there. So now we're at 99% in overtime, and the Perfectly Unscientific crew is able to cap it there. And the Reinhardt getting a very good fire strike on that tire, which would have done a lot of damage. So the entire team is alive, and the entire team is on the point. So now they have to defend it for the whole time for the win. And if the enemy team is able to take it for even just a few moments, they can win. So this is going to be a very good crunch time scenario for these guys. Winston is getting frozen there by the Mei, doing very good job of stopping enemies from coming in. And it looks like a lot of ultimates are getting ready there. The D.Va and the Reinhardt, as well as the Mercy, and the Zenyatta ult is almost ready as well. So they are ready for the next battle to come in. Junkrat's trying to push in on his own. Lucio's also trying to come in, and it looks like the Bastion is trying to set up on the other side where he was before to try and shoot there without anyone noticing. But Reed notices right away and is able to get the Discord orb on him very quickly there. They're up to 60% now, and the D.Va ult was able to take out 3 of them, which is quite a significant amount. Being able to stop that push coming in here. It looks like a last-ditch effort from the Junkrat tire is just able to get a 1 there, as they split up fairly quickly, though. So 1 is not enough for a Junkrat tire, especially at this stage of the game. You definitely want to hold on to that for a better opportunity there, I think. So it looks like the 5 are still on the point there, stopping them from coming in. There's 1 contesting on the point. That was the Winston getting taken out fairly quickly there. Bastion is now being damage boost ulted, but is taken out by the Pharah ult and stops them from getting in for the win. They are able to come back, being down 2-0 to reverse sweep 3-2. And of course, the enemy team tries to say nice throw, but Earth says, of course, we just gave y'all the first 2 to make it fair. And that is something that you want to see from your team, is able to have the perseverance, come back, and win. And here is the play of the game, where we see Shane do a very good res and then goes for nap time. Clearly, he was tired. So that's your game this week on Lijiang Tower. My name's King Cullah, and we will see you next time.